Hey, crafting buddies. So today we're going to do another canvas art. Man, I'm just obsessed with this. I'm loving it. So came up with this design, and we're going to get the sticker on there, and then we'll get started. So this particular canvas is, I believe it's 11 by 14. We'll see if I can get this peeled. Should start doing this off camera so y'all don't have to see it. But you always think, oh, it's going to come off so easy. Nope. This thing don't like me sometimes. It's like I don't want to stab the picture. There we go. Alright, so same old hinge method. Peel it. Trim it. Maybe about there. So last night, when I was trying my best to sleep, I kept running through various scenarios of putting things on canvas like this. So my intent today was a totally different one, but it just kept getting in my head, and I'm like, oh, I've got to get that out. I don't know if anyone else is like that. So here we go. And so what we do is we will add ribbon, and this is the ribbon I chose today. So pretty. So it's like gold, and it's, I don't know, like crosshatch. And then because of the bottom and the top is so thick, like this is 2.5 inch ribbon, and it's still, you know, you still have a big gap. So I'm doubling that. I had to do that on a previous project. And then we're going to add some blue into it this time. And then our foliage or whatever, we're going to use this little pick. And so it sticks into the frame or into the canvas. Anyway, so I say, hey, let's get started. As soon as I pick up 150 things that I drop in one moment. Okay, so what I like to do is kind of line this up with the edges. But I need enough room back here to fold over and glue. And then this will be folded in and glued. So whenever you're cutting your ribbon ahead of time, just make sure that you're cutting enough to flip over the back sides. Let's see, this is glue gun. Yep, she's ready to go. So I just run it right along the edge. I kind of bump over the picture a little bit, because if it ever lifts up, it'll have that glue to kind of help hold it down as well. Don't worry if you get a little off kilter like this, it's going to be covered up by the other stuff as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. When they bend, they all look the same size. Okay, same thing. Make sure. All right. So, guess what we should do? Yeah, we'll do this first. We'll fold it in and we'll glue, and then we'll kind of like pinch it and sandwich it. First made these a couple of days ago, and have just like fallen in love with it. It's an easy craft, and it's so elegant looking. And within an hour of finishing the second one, I already had both of them sold. So I hated to let it go, but you know, it is pretty, and I do make them to sell them, so might as well. So yesterday here was Black Friday, so I wasn't going to get out and go anywhere, but I had to go to Hobby Lobby and Michael's so I could finish an order, because I hadn't wanted to go to the store and all that during that mad rush of people getting everything. But then I was like, oh, I'll brave Black Friday. It's no big deal. Well, it kind of was a big deal. But I hit the mother load on ribbon from Michael's. They had their ribbon spools, buy one, get three free. So I figured you can't beat that, because ribbon's expensive. I don't know if y'all have noticed that. It's kind of pricey to have a ribbon, unless it's the really teeny tiny stuff. But like, so this roll was like $13.99, so I got 3 more rolls of the same size for the same, like, for free. So I only paid the $13.99. You can always check it afterwards and see if there's some places that need to be glued down a little bit more, just so you're more flush on the edges. And if you measure like that, then you probably won't have to cut a lot of excess off like in the corners and stuff. I learned that from the first two, not to be sloppy when I'm cutting, just kind of more precise is the word I'm looking for. Sorry y'all, it's been a long day. This is like my third or fourth project that I've done today. But I take Sundays off for myself, so tomorrow is Sunday for me, so I won't work anything. And so I really wanted to get some of these crafts done. Okay, so that's the sides. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, and so what we'll do with this is it will be like a double here and a double up here. So yeah, I think I like that. Okay, so we'll do this one underneath. So I'll just kind of hold my finger there so I know where to mark it. And we'll do the same thing on this. So let me know down in the comments how your Thanksgiving holiday went. We did mine with my kids early, so that if they had any plans with the in-laws, or maybe it was, their day off or whatever, they could just have that time to themselves. And I still got my time with them, but then I didn't want to take away from anyone else's time with them either. So I'm not a greedy grandma, but I still had my time with them. And for that, I'm grateful. I don't take it for granted. I see a lot of people, especially around the holidays, where there's just so much animosity that just comes out of people, and it's just terrible. I gotta say though, at this age, I'm 48, and at this age, I am finally learning to just let a lot of stuff go that I've held on to. Believe me, it's still a process, but I feel a lot better letting a lot of the stuff go. So what about you? Do you do the big family thing? Do you leave room for other people to love your kids as much as you do, like mother-in-laws and all that? Or, sometimes there's just a lot of selfish families, like they expect this, that, and the other, and if you don't do things their way, they throw a fit and have a cow, and it's just really, really annoying. We've been through this for years. But I am doing things different with my own kids that are now all grown and have spouses or significant others and babies, and I want to be the one that people remember as the loving one, because that's what my grandparents were to me. They were the loving ones that everyone just respected. And I think my grandpa has been gone for right at like 24 years, I think, and people still have the memory of what a great man my grandfather was. And then my grandparents as a whole, like, people just loved them. Like, they literally say things like, oh, they would give you the shirt off their back. And they really, really would. They were just great people. And so it's taken me a long time to get to a place in my life where I feel like I could potentially take on the mantle and be them, But I've had a lot of stuff to overcome, like, personally, because of my temper and my mouthiness. I don't like people to get by with things. So I feel like I've always had to, quote, tell everybody off. And so it got this not so great reputation within the family. But it did set some boundaries. I'm loving this, y'all. I hope that you can make your own. And if y'all like this graphic, I will make it available on my Etsy shop. And you are free to use it. Well, I gotta charge you something on Etsy, but it won't be very much. Come on, you can do it. Okay. So, same thing, just kind of flip these edges in. So we will be stabbing a hole in the canvas and through part of the ribbon, but we're going to hot glue it on the back side. So I really want this stuff to hold in there. This ribbon that I'm using is kind of slick compared to some of the other ones that I've used. So cute. It reminds me kind of like a present, like a gift. Okay, that goes in the bottom, definitely. What do you think? Like in the middle? Yeah, I'm thinking like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do the bottoms first, the bottom and the top first. And same thing, we flip it around, making sure we have enough. Kind of like that better. Decisions, decisions. I'm gonna do this at the bottom. We'll see what it looks like. You can always do one that looks just like it and do it a different way. And then same thing up here. I feel like I'm just stringed up with all this glue. Okay, we'll do all the flip side later. I'm thinking this should still go in the middle. Yeah, I like how it kind of catches a corner like that. So what are y'all thinking? Are you liking this? Does it look simple? Because it really, really is. So yeah, same thing. This ribbon is really, really pretty. I think my husband picked this out yesterday. He was like, oh, you gotta get the blue. And at the time, I only had a couple of graphics that I was going to use. And I'm like, I don't know about the blue. I feel like it's overdone. If you knew me in the history of blue, I had a stepdad growing up that everything was painted blue. Like, he painted it blue. Spray painted it blue. Our cars, I mean, you don't get much more redneck than that. It was like baby blue or dark blue or something. So I haven't always been the most loving of blue. But this one kind of got to me today. So all we're doing is just wrapping it. Oh, I guess I cut too much right there. I always use a scratch for something. Hopefully I have talked enough and you've gotten to know me a little bit. Because I like it when crafters just sit there and kind of shoot the breeze with people, even though technically you can't talk back. But, you know, you can feel like you can get to know me. In case anyone wonders about the Snapped Gingercraft name, I am a freckled, well, I'm gray-haired now, but I was, you know, like redhead and had the freckles and the pale skin and all that good jazz. Okay, are we ready? Uh-oh, so pretty. I wish this light wouldn't shine too terribly bright and kind of mess up the effect of what I see versus what you see. And see, I like the red in there because it just kind of, it throws a different look to it. So I'm thinking, it's going to have to be pretty far down, maybe like here. So I have this little pick tool. We'll see if we can do it. Okay, so we stab it through, kind of wiggle it around so it widens it. Then we'll stick it back through this way from the back. Same thing, because that's a pretty wide pick. And then back through front. And then I can always do blue ribbon back behind this pick. This is the trickiest part. Okay. So I got it through. So now I'm going to bend it. This one's a little bit trickier than the other ones I've done because it's so thick. So see how it's going to lift up a little bit? And then we can take all these and maneuver them around. But back here I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to glue, glue, glue. So this will help it keep the canvas from continuously ripping. And when I say glue, 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 I mean it. You don't want that lifting up like that. I end up having to get a different glue gun. I like the mini one, but she don't like me back. Let that dry for a minute. Okay, so that's drying a little bit better. I just had to kind of maneuver it a little bit more. So now we'll start kind of shaping these. So we'll just kind of lay them down a little bit, kind of bump them up. It's just you maneuver it to how you want it to look. What I might do is put some kind of a ribbon back here, so it just kind of makes it stand out and pop. So let me grab some ribbon, we'll see what we got. I gotta get better at bow making. Okay, so I didn't put that on camera because I really suck, and I don't need the laughter. So I was looking at this. What I might do is kind of give it these little, I don't know what you call them, pigeon foot? That's what it reminds me of. Like that. And then I'll do the same thing on these, even though you won't really be able to see it. I'll know they're there. And we got all fancy schmancy with these. These scissors are magnetic, so they catch on every little thing. Okay, so kind of want like the gold behind it, the blue in the front. It's going to be behind there, so it doesn't really matter all that much. But I'm going to glue these two together. And that's just a zip tie right there. And I'll kind of glue the fronts a little smidgy. And I'm going to take a little piece of this ribbon, and I'm going to fold it over so you can't see the zip ties. Oops, still didn't dry. And then we'll glue all that down, and then that will be all. I've got to get better at ribbon making. Never really thought much of it until like recently. So like I said, it's just a filler for back behind this foliage stuff. Just to hide some things, you know, like, okay, that might be dry enough. So we'll slide it back here. And we can actually place the blue and the gold wherever we want. So what I'll do is I'll shoot in some glue. And wedge this in, let it sit for a few minutes, a few seconds, whatever. And then like I can have that right there, let it stick to the bottom of that leaf. And you can just kind of glue in place wherever you want anything. Like here, if I wanted this blue to stick out here, I can just a little bit of glue underneath that leaf. And stick that on there. And then if I wanted the gold to kind of be out more this way, I'll take a little bit of glue, pop it out that way. And this will help anchor it as well, a little bit better. It's pretty good though. It's not like you're going to be kicking this down the street or anything. I hope not anyway. And it's just a way to add a little bit more oomph to something. The strings on glue really drive me up the wall. And I'll just shoot a whole bunch into this little corner. Hold it up and let it dry. You can always add more. But I ran out of this blue ribbon, so that's literally all I had of it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it over here so that I see the blue. I'm going to tack it down. Oh, get yourself back down there. So what do y'all think? He's holding up back there. And most of the time you can balance this with the tack right there, with the tack in the wall, and then you just kind of shift and things like that. So let me know in the comments if you like this, and we will craft together again. I'm sure I'll do more of these. I'm loving it. Talk to you next time. Bye.